Conscious collaboration brings together entrepreneurs, change makers, and thought leaders. We aim to highlight the people that embody the idea of aligned mind, body, and business. Each week, we share, discuss, and learn from the various experiences and ideas of our guest experts. Through our discovery, we find a path to an aligned mind, body, and business.
What up, y'all? This is Emily.
And I'm Lisa, and we are the Conscious Collaboration.
Hi.
Hey. I think
we're a duo for the first time in a little bit.
I know. We've had so many good guests in, and I love that. Getting ready for one next week, and they're just lining up.
Yeah,
I love it.
And trios are awesome, but I'm a Gemini. I love duos too.
Yeah, well, there's two of you, so probably
right. Are we technically a trio?
Always, yeah. I was thinking about, I don't know if you saw in your DMs, but you had talked about the cult leaders and like which astrological signs are most likely to be cult leaders, and I thought we would be top of the list on that. Honestly,
I was
astrology, yeah.
It was accidentally starting a cult.
Right.
And I think
Aquarius was.
You were up there. You were up there, but
subtle,
I think you were less accidental.
Yeah.
I think I think most of the Virgo and Capricorn were at the bottom because they were like, oh no, this was no accident.
Right. Yeah.
And so I think we all have the propensity to start cults, I think was the takeaway, but some more accidental than others.
Right. So welcome to our cult.
Welcome to our cult. By accident.
It's
a friendly cult.
Yes, it is. And I think we've been attracting in so many cool people. I don't know. I've learned so much in the past couple months from our guests, and it seems to be the right people at the right time. Yeah. And, supplementing whatever it is that we're doing with our lives, if it's nutritional or if it's headspace or if it's parenting related. I think it's always like, oh, that's exactly what I needed to hear today. So thank you.
Yeah, I really want to brand it more of like a clubhouse.
Clubhouse, like Mickey Mouse?
Yeah. Oh, doodles.
Right. There's backstory on that.
Well, Toodle, y'all know.
Yeah. Well, not everybody. It's
he's like the pocket knife of cartoon creatures.
If you're a parent, your children probably watch the Clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's from.
Make it right? That was Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
I think it was Mickey Mouse.
Hot dog, right?
I don't remember that, but it's been replaced by a lot of other information. But yeah, I did. Yes, it is.
My head's just full of jingles.
Right. I imagine that's the inside of your head is always jingles.
It's more fun that way. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can tell by sometimes the things come out. It's like, oh, you didn't hear that?
That's my right.
You weren't listening to that in my head.
Right.
I like that. I enjoy that. So I don't know, lots going on. Congratulations to everybody for making it through Mercury in retrograde, because we're at the end of that. And it was interesting.
Listen, we're going to do this, 4 times a year, every year. So
all the time.
Let's learn to embrace it. Learn to embrace it. It's not all negative. There's inward and outward. And if you try to push too far outward when the energy is better for inwards, well.
Yes, it makes it challenging for business. I'll say the retrograding and being able to prepare for the inward and the outward, and
it's just a different challenge. Like we're always going to be challenged, I think.
If you have good foundations, it's good.
You can always choose your challenge.
Yeah, you can go to plan B or whatever and resort. And I know a lot of people in real estate were having some challenges during this Mercury in retrograde. So as far as contracts go and So I saw a couple of contracts fall through in real estate, and that was disappointing, and things have really shaken up there. So thoughts and prayers to all my realtor friends. They're really having a time of it right now.
Well, and just remember redirection, protection, all that.
Yeah.
It may seem negative in this moment.
Yeah. Real estate is
Perhaps it's not.
Is a challenging career to be in, and I always I like to be on this side of it. Because it's really affected by the market and how people are feeling psychologically, and so that's a tough one. I think especially now as things are changing, everybody seems to wear, and everybody always wears many hats in owning a business, but in real estate, it's like being able to find the other channels to have a revenue stream when there are these times that contracts fall out. And so I think everybody these days has their own course, and everybody these days has their own channel of some sort to get their information out there. But, things got to keep up with the times.
Get those creative juices flowing.
Yeah, and this is a good time. We're in Aries energy. So that being said, we thought it would be fun to do an energy check-in and mashup and see what's going on there in the collective energy. It's good for us to do, check in with ourselves.
It's almost like no matter what's going on, I'll just talk a little bit while you're shuffling. And I love this time of year. I love the energy this time of year. I love the weather this time of year. I love just everything about it.
Yeah.
It puts me in a hopeful place, I want to say. I really do feel, I feel more of the energy of a new year around this time than I would say in January necessarily.
That's new beginnings and refreshing and more light in the day, higher energy.
And maybe people do, I don't know, maybe it's a seasonal thing in that it seems like people tend to lean towards around their birthday season, and they, that's kind of their favorite part of the year. But
we're coming up on your
maybe
birthday.
I'm a little biased there, but I just love it.
Well, it is just a nice time of year. Like everybody's thawing out from winter, and although there were some crazy winter storms that happened the last couple weeks, but everybody's thawing out and they're seeing the flowers, and it's springtime and longer days for a lot of us.
And I still get, even though I'm quite far removed, especially from this kind of school, but the end of school excitement. Like, especially from and I noticed this, with my daughter's schooling and stuff, of course, too. But it seems like after spring break, like it's all just kind of party.
Oh yeah, it's basically summertime.
Yeah,
it moves so fast from this point into summer. And so that's why it's really important just to do these energy check-ins and make sure that you have everything lined up heading in, because before we know it, it's summer and there's total shift there. I did ride the wave. I did check in with the I Ching. I don't know if you could hear me shuffling the cards because I'm wearing my headset today, but the energy around the collective today is treading carefully. Confident people find their way.
How Walter White of you.
Yeah, thank you.
For any Breaking Bad fans, tread lightly, right? Yeah, tell me more.
This is the energy of treading carefully. It's kind of like a trail in a forest is what the artwork depicts.
Portal energy too, though.
Yeah.
That's like 11:11.
I do see. 11:11. That's a good one. Yeah. I just see like a path appearing in the woods, kind of like a conversation we had with, was it Maureen, talking about in nature to stop and you'll find your way, the path appears. But But those two red trees and the artwork depicted, I think the artist is Joan Larimore. It really does have that portal appearance to it. And I think that spring very much has and the equinoxes seem to have like a very portal like experience to them. So confident people find their way and make progress, even in difficult circumstances. Talking a lot about the energy that we were picking up on market changes and coming out of retrograde, and maybe a lot of contracts fell through, or going inward in a time that you want to be outward, in particular, if you're a business owner with marketing. Consider your steps carefully when powerful forces surround you. The weak and the strong can coexist when the weaker element does not impose upon the stronger one. When it maintains good humor and when it avoids taking bold action, treading carefully among sleeping tigers or slippery stones. Step gingerly and don't stumble. So,
don't poke the bear.
Don't, yes. Tread carefully.
Sounds like our ICU nights.
Oh, really? Yeah.
You'd have certain patients.
If they're sleeping, let them sleep.
We're in the neuro unit, keep in mind. So
lots of beeping and loud noises and people.
Beeping, loud noises will end, people with neurologic impairments that often
can be erratic.
to very,
violent
interesting
behavior. Like
yes. Regardless of the fact that they're likely hooked up to ventilators and tubes and all sorts of things. So, yes.
I can't imagine. Hats off to everybody in those situations. I imagine it's been especially crazy there with all of the lunar eclipses and that type of supermoon and that type of events lately.
Yeah, I wasn't super or really at all into, the astrology stuff when I was working in the hospital, but the full moon, people acting erratic is science.
Right. I know.
Everybody knows.
Everybody
knows that hospital on a full moon night.
They staff up for it.
Yeah. What's the Jurassic Park line? Hold on to your butts.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was talking to you and Adrian last episode about, I think I was talking about it while we were recording, but how when I had Benjamin, it was on a supermoon, a huge supermoon, and all the EMTs and emergency vehicles were stationed at midway points on corners to be able to respond as fast as possible because weird stuff happened.
It does.
And certainly that night they needed to deploy quickly with all of the random birth activity. But so back to the point of treading carefully, there's some slippery circumstances going on right now, but you'll be fine if you're moving with controlled, intentional movement from the divine or the overarching energy here. So there is a lesson. Your work has reached a stage of completion, and now it's time to count your blessings.
Hey.
Yeah. And that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense for me in my personal life. A lot of projects are buttoned up at this point, and I do feel like it's a stage that's at completion. Nice. And now it's time to count your blessings. By assessing the results of your past efforts, you can know what to expect going forward. The farmer who harvests healthy crops in the fall can safely predict a prosperous winter. So maybe in your own personal lives, there is something being buttoned up and resolution happening at this time, maybe today as you're listening, around this time period. There's just really a lot. I mean, a lot of change happening right now. And it addresses, again, too, just walking among the sleeping tigers is dangerous. Resolute conduct in the face of danger and a clear-eyed assessment of the situation are the only means of successful resolution. And I also kind of think this has to do, Emily, we were talking about it being tax season and all of these, reinstatement and business forms and blah, 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 all of that stuff. But kind of not to say that these are dangerous things, but I think it's just important to have these safety things buttoned up and addressed and assessed. So I'm doing a lot of that myself too, and I think everybody, I mean, at least in the U.S., is in a similar position right now, looking at business and personal accounting and taxes and forms, on top of preparing for summer camps and vacations and downtimes and all of that. So there's a lot of change energy happening. And then also, when people with poor vision tread among sleeping tigers, they meet with disaster. Don't try to walk around the sleeping tigers if you can't see very well. Really want to have your clarity and your full capacity on board. And if you don't, you're going to create problems if you think if you're powerful enough to do it without having all these things geared up. It would be like, drunken toddler trying to walk through the sleeping tigers. Bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure that you're getting your sleep and full faculties there. When coming from a humble position, inner strength is the form of modesty, and that's the key to advancement. So being modest, conscientious work is rewarded when one's motives are simple and intentions are genuine, especially when credit goes towards the supervisor. Oh, like maybe that may actually be a direct reference for some of you listening if you're in employment to someone else too. Simplicity in action will leave you free of obligation. To strive aggressively now could put you in a position of greater difficulty. I think this immediately made me think of a lot of conversations I've been having with people about simplifying your efforts and streamlining. I've been hearing a lot of people trying to take on everything by themselves. And the beauty of conscious collaboration is you don't have to be the expert of all the things. If you are collaborating with people that you can trust to take on some of the effort in a expert way, you're not going to divide your energy and deplete that further. So that's all inner self fortification that needs to be considered. Being humble enough to know where to position someone to fill in certain areas, that you don't need to be the expert necessarily in all the things. And also it reduces some of that need to strive aggressively that we need to put the brakes on a little bit right now in this energy of treading carefully. So the forward energy is endurance. How long can you sustain all the things that you have in motion right now? And that's cultivated when determination is coupled with flexibility. And this is the card. I don't know if you get any reference of endurance from that. It just reminds me of breathing, but
yeah, it does.
Like,
it does look like breathing. Mm-hmm.
You know how when you're teaching the breathing to us, like I think you've even referenced it, like a wave, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
If you're taking nice full breaths, you can sustain your activity and your momentum longer than if you're to breathe shallow. So true endurance is not based on rigidity, because endurance implies flexibility, not being locked in position. So only by adapting to change can we stay in the race. And only by deepening our sense of purpose can we call forth the strength to win it. Continuity is achieved through movement, not by keeping still. So treading carefully, but doing small intentional,
standing there.
Exactly. You're not just standing there. That's like, it's always such a balance, because I've been talking with a lot of people too about being receptive. And being receptive doesn't mean just stand in place and things are going to come to you all the time. Sometimes they do. But are you visible, even in small ways, consistently? Are you embodying, even in small ways, just a little bit every day, what you're trying to receive? Or are you just sitting in a chair somewhere hidden and just waiting for things to come to you? I don't know.
Right. You have to be in the spaghetti restaurant to refer back to the
Yes.
the spaghetti model.
The spaghetti model of manifestation.
The spaghetti model of manifestation by Steve. Yeah, you can't, you can't just leave the spaghetti restaurant and go sit out in front of the taco truck and still expect your spaghetti to come. You have to be in the energy of that which you are trying to receive.
Yeah. I mean, I think that goes for business, it goes for relationships too. And it's not like the chasing energy. So,
yeah. I've been super into, Joe Dispenza lately. And so it's just that idea of creating the feeling in your body, teaching your body the emotion of what it's already like to have the thing.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I attended a really great workshop a couple years ago, probably like 3 years ago, and I can't remember her name right now, and I want to give her a shout out, but she had a really great manifestation workshop around the Lionsgate portal. And what is her name? Jessica. And I think she's coined or she was going by the money witch, I think. And she's used by she's up in articles in Business Insider. And so she works in small business, big business. And one of the things that she integrated in her Lionsgate portal process was getting in that energy as if you've already received it. And the one tip that she gave me that I tell everybody, I think it's great, and I don't know where, and I know she learned it from someone else, and I don't know the origins, but is to reflect on a time when you've gone to the mailbox and you open the mailbox and there's like an unexpected check, a refund for overpaid bills, or money back from a hospital visit, or the IRS, or your loans, your school loans. You overpaid and you get this giant check back. And sometimes it happens with a mortgage. And it comes like unexpected. You're like, oh, what a gift. And it's so exciting. Like, this is a real check. It's amazing. It's exactly, it's even more than what I could have even asked for. But to think of that kind of moment where you've gotten that unexpected gift from anywhere, from the universe, if you can hold that energy when you're setting your intentions of what you desire to receive, it magnetizes it.
If you're tuning in, you're tuning the receiver. That's all.
Yeah. And it definitely works. And to this day, I do that. That's just a snippet of like some of that process that we did in that mastermind group. But I do it with my kids every 8/8. And whenever we reflect back on the written list of intentions that we wrote down, it's always actualized. So it's really cool. I think there were just a few things that didn't come through yet on my kids, just because I think it was not a real number, a real financial number that they were trying to manifest. How kids are like 100 million, gazillion, bajillion. But they did manifest kittens, and that was pretty cool. I try to resist it, but darn it, those kids, they got into that energy. Anyway, so it's like getting into, you don't need to try any harder to get to where you're trying to go. It's energy of treading carefully with endurance, doing it in a tiptoeing around the sleeping tiger kind of way. It's not just sitting at your computer desk, longing for something to come to you magically. So even though I know a lot of us do have to spend a lot of time, like especially for planning or businessing or doing taxes or whatever. It says, by actively changing, but staying strongly connected with your roots, your deepest thoughts and feelings, you're more likely to draw in that which you desire. So, yeah, continuity is achieved through movement, guys. It's not by keeping still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's small little movements that people can't see.
Yeah. Or literally go take a walk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that type. Yeah,
you know,
that
if
type
you're
of
stuck
movement.
and you're sitting at the computer, like literally move the energy physically.
It's easier to keep things. Yeah, it's easier to keep things flowing if it's already in motion.
Well, that just keeps the mental energy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of sitting there trying to force it and figure stuff out.
Yeah.
You know, let it come to you and
yeah,
get yourself in a better dynamic.
mindset. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think this is definitely like a very good transitional spring portal type of energy to be in. So, and I like the Aries energy. I'm not like a fighter, but I like I like that, charging forward and putting things into action. And I do feel a lot more spunkier now that the days are brighter, and I've gotten a beach day in or two and actually gone swimming. And, for us, basically, we could do that anytime, any day of the year. But I'm officially a Floridian and I won't get in the water unless it's
right
75. But
right.
Lisa, do you have any cards to tap it off?
I can punctuate it with a
What say you?
New Orleans deck card here. Knock it out, knock it out. All right, this one's just okay. Ooh. All right, so number 21, learning.
Ooh, perfect. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So definitely a representation of third eye energy here. Yeah. Intuition, knowledge, seeing.
I get a lot of like life purpose because it came up in the I Ching around endurance. It was, and treading carefully. It had a lot to do with life purpose.
And this is the one I've noticed this about this card before, but that her hair is like DNA strands.
It is. We've seen that before.
So it's number 21. All right, I'll just read the thing. The more you know, the more you realize how much there is left to learn. You are currently in a learning and growth cycle that will lead you in the direction you desire. During this time, you will be more aware of patterns and synchronicities, especially within yourself. Although you might be tempted to tell yourself that you already know, there's a difference between understanding something on an intellectual level and understanding something on an emotional or an intuitive one. Yes, get that. There are many times that knowing something intellectually gets confused with truly getting it. To understand something in its entirety, it is necessary to have both a willingness to process and acceptance at every level. It is okay to feel like you're repeating certain experiences or emotions. It is through this process that you gain more clarity and healing. It is important to be patient with yourself and others during this process by stepping back and taking an objective approach when assessing all of the different aspects of your life, which that last sentence is kind of tread lightly, tread carefully, right? And Learning is, I would say, well, it's both an active and a receptive energy. You have to take the action to seek out knowledge, but then you have to be receptive to the knowledge.
Well, I think it goes back to being adaptable to sustain the momentum too.
And that difference between getting something on an intellectual level and then getting it on like an experiential level, like,
yeah,
you get it now.
yeah. I think sometimes, especially now in this time of year, and we just talked about doing all the forms and the taxes and the business renewing and so on and so forth, it's like switching gears from the practical to the intuitive. You can really get lost into like just the very like practical and mundane side of things. So finding that balance, like to allow yourself to be more visionary, and also I'm not encouraging delusion in any way. But certainly you want to be practical and mindful, but not to get lost in the practicality of everything all the time. The more intuitive and the sensing to guide you. I think learning is also just, that's very relevant to me in this energy. I've attended quite a few workshops recently. I'm constantly learning and growing in the artificial intelligence and AI side of things, and trying to keep up with that. And every time I take a workshop, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've missed out so much. And then also just learning new systems and evolving on that side of thing. I cannot imagine existing in the way that I did 6 years ago, day to day in today's world.
Yep.
It's just so crazy.
Yep.
Is it both of our 6-year anniversaries in business?
It'll be 7.
7 for you and 6 for me.
7 for me. Yeah.
Yeah. 6 for me.
It's actually the LLC anniversary. Yeah, it's coming right up. I forget which actual day it is, but it's in April, and then brick and mortar is in October.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really interesting to reflect back to the beginnings of things and then how far things have advanced and the direction that they've grown. And I almost don't think that, if we look back to where we began, even before we started working together, like, did you see yourself creating communities and podcasts and working in the different areas and realms of coaching and the different platforms? It's like that kind of stuff. It's not even, I don't even think it's something that you can plan for because you're evolving and being flexible to what's available.
Yep.
Sometimes the best way to learn is to reflect back.
Super important to do that and just keep yourself in the perspective of how far you've come.
Yeah, and celebrate that.
Yes.
Well, cool. I love that. I love that card. I like the DNA. What are they called? Is it helix? What are those called?
Double helix.
Double helix.
Yep.
Yeah, that we studied in sacred geometry too, just being present in the formation of shells and those egg casings that you see at the beach, and then whatever the center of the shells are, and very important creation symbol.
Yep.
In terms of manifesting. But so that's it. That's our energy check-in. I hope that it resonated with you guys on some level like it did with us. And I would like everybody to pop inside of our closed and private Facebook group, the Conscious Collaboration Collective. We have the links provided in the description, so you can come on inside and engage with us and our guests, and maybe even become a guest yourself. Yeah, I got to put some energy into that group. It kind of fizzled off a little bit. We had some good discussions going, so hop back in there and see. I'm excited. Next week, actually tax return day, right? We have happy tax day. Yay! But we have our Jungian expert coming in to talk about dreams, and so you guys will get to meet Dream Mama, and I think that'll be really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Emily. Good luck for the rest of your day.
Hey, thanks. You too.
Thanks. I'll send you some reels. And everybody, thank you for being a part of our mini cult. What did we decide it was?
Clubhouse.
Thanks for being a part of our clubhouse. Yes. We'll talk to you in 5.
Talk to you in 5. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank y'all so much for listening to our podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends so they can join our circle of collaboration on this journey. You can find us on Instagram at Conscious Collaboration Podcast, on Spotify, iTunes, and Audible, to name a few. Please join us next time for another deep dive into how you can live life in more alignment, mind, body, and business. Send us your questions and comments in our DMs or email us at consciouscollaborationpodcast@gmail.com. See you in 5 minutes.